And Macola's interview with Barbara Fisher, founder of the National Vaccine Information Centre, is also worth a look at. So a good roundup there of the swine flu information to keep you up to date. CoQ10 and ubiquinol, we've been going quite hard on this. CoQ10 is a fascinating vitamin-type substance that the cells use from which they develop energy. As we get older, our ability to change CoQ10, which is available in a whole range of foods, but you can supplement it, our ability to change CoQ10 into its reduced form, known as ubiquinol, becomes more impaired. So if you're supplementing CoQ10, that's fine up until age 25 to 30, but over that age you should be supplementing the reduced form, which is ubiquinol. And what this does is it enables the cells it increases the energy output of the cells. Now, I've been educating a bunch of you on new information that has come out about the cell. That far from Darwin's homogeneous globe, the cell is a micro-miniaturized nano-factory producing over 50 to 60,000 machine components. It all works from DNA, which is a 3 out of 4 error-correcting digital machine code. So, of course, that raises the question of where did that information come from? And we cover that in an Origins article you'll see in this bulletin as well. But all of this stuff is powered through food. So the big issue here is what raw materials are you giving the body in order to fire it up? And so CoQ10, ubiquinol, there's a lot of good science behind this, and have a look at it. Orlando shooter, of course, we've had a couple of shooting incidents occurring over the last 4 to 6 weeks. US Army Major Nidal Malik Hassan shot and killed 13 people and wounded 30 others in a violent attack at a Texas Army base. As an Army psychiatrist, he was allowed to prescribe powerful psychiatric drugs to his patients, and of course, well known is the fact that psychiatrists prescribe these drugs to themselves as well. So there's been some articles around saying, did Major Hassan kill these people as a result of psychiatric drug abuse, where these drugs are known to create problems? Do I believe that? I believe that's part of the picture. The other big part of the picture is that he was heard to shout Allahu Akbar before he opened fire, so that's not a medical problem. Using probiotics to prevent or eliminate candida. If you've got candida overgrowth, there's a couple of things you can do. The first thing is to go on a 3 to 7 day fast, and this shuts down the sugar going into the system. You can also do this fast with coconut oil. I recommend virgin coconut oil or extra virgin coconut oil to do this. It's pretty disgusting to do that. That stuff makes me gag. It's 50% lauric acid, very powerful antifungal. But just fasting on vegetable juices, if you don't want to do the classic fast with just water, with vegetable juices and putting some ginger in there, is very effective if you think about this, because it shuts down the sugar going in. If you have sugar cravings or you have gas and bloat in the bowel, this is an indication that there might be a fungal overgrowth or a candida overgrowth problem. But using probiotics as well in this regime is very, very good. This is all about re-establishing the hierarchy and the pecking order in those 400 to 800 species of microflora in your gut, and very important that that is working right. Remember, the gut is the factory that converts food into usable energy and being able to put the nutrients into the form that the body can use them in. How much sunshine does it take to make enough vitamin D? Our old friend Dr. Joseph Macola has got quite an in-depth section on this, showing you where you live on the planet is pretty important. The colour of your skin, the tone of your skin is important. If you're from Jamaica and you've decided that Newcastle is the only place in the world for you, you're going to have a problem, because this is above the 52nd parallel, above which you don't make vitamin D between the equinoxes. And so this is going to be a serious issue from late September onwards, right the way through till late March. And so supplementation is really your only option, or clear off into the sun. I'm taking Anna and Samantha away for a week or so. It's not a holiday as such for me, because I'm simply going to be working and finding a place in the sun to do it. But topping up your sun, we are lucky these days to still be able to clear off somewhere warm with a package holiday deal somewhere. Think about doing that. A break is as good as a rest for most people. 7 days is hardly a rest for me, but it's all I can afford to do right now. So have a look at the Macola article, because vitamin D deficiency underpins a lot of these immune system problems, cancer, and heart disease, multiple sclerosis. You do your homework on multiple sclerosis, you'll see the further north in latitude you go, the more of these cases crop up. And so what on earth is the point in bringing any of this sexy medicine to bear without checking your vitamin D levels first? They should be doing this to every single cancer patient. Every single cancer patient should have their vitamin D levels checked to see where they are on that nanogram per milliliter scale that Mercola talks about in his article. And lastly, you want a miracle? I'll show you a miracle. Origins has been stirring up a huge amount of feeling and good. That's the reason I did the book. Because this is not a religious book. This is a book that looks at the implications of what science is now finding and why scientists are actually shuffling around and staring at their toe caps like there's bolognese on them, because they've now found out irrefutable evidence that the cell structure in the body could not have evolved through Darwinian evolution, which of course leads to the question, well, where did it come from? So we get into that in Origins, and we also give you the fascinating information about hemoglobin. How hemoglobin, which is a protein string 574 amino acids long, you calculate the odds of hemoglobin forming by blind random chance from an alphabet of 20 proteinaceous amino acids, and you get 10 to the 650. One chance in 10 to the 650. Or put another way, hemoglobin forming by blind random chance, you have 10 to the 650 permutations, only one of which is hemoglobin. And that has to have an error rate of 0 or you're dead. So this is pretty interesting, because we're starting to look into the building blocks of nature. We're looking at the building blocks of life. How does life come about in the first place? These are questions that molecular biologists are scratching their bald heads over, and I'm fascinated about all this. So we've got Origins out there. Have a look at it. This would make a fascinating Christmas present for people, and they can get in and make up their own minds about what they're reading and what science is finding. Australian tour schedule is now posted, all you down under. So looking forward to coming down. Sadly, Samantha and Anna won't be coming. Anna's too small right now for that grueling 24-hour flight. But I should be coming down with this tour, and we're going to be covering some absolutely amazing new information. So don't miss that. Pick your tickets up, and we shall be keeping you informed and pass the word. You know, we try advertising in newspapers, but it doesn't work half as well as if you go out there and start talking to your relatives. Hey, go along and see Phllip Day. Make up your own mind about what you're hearing. I think whatever's left of your mind can still do that. I happen to think the public is pretty smart and is able to make up their mind about what they're looking at. So go ahead and pass that information on. And lastly, just to let you know that we are still doing the online seminars. We've got more in the pipe. We're doing one on heart disease right now. We're doing a whole 3 hours of Dr. Michael Greger, which is being done by our film company. So again, we should have those released hopefully either before Christmas or shortly after it. So keep an eye out for that. Those seminars are free. All you have to do is just register for them, and you should see the link in the left-hand column of Eclub here. That's it. Nothing else to report for now. Keep your eye on the bulletins that we send out, and we'll update you on any further news on the global stitch-up that's happening in Copenhagen, and I'll see you next month. God bless.